Boys and girls, on today's episode, we're doing a review on this Honda Odyssey. We've officially owned this Honda Odyssey for 90 days, and that's as new parents.
Welcome, this is your life now, the wasteland where we all take a vow. With some glow due to radiation, two heads where there usually is one unsung. With you, I know we'll find a way through the fallout, come our way. With every mutation, we'll embrace the change. Come, this is the wasteland. Beware the radiation.
So in today's review, we'll cover the good, the bad, some of my favorite things, and some of my not so favorite things about owning this vehicle. Although it hasn't let me down yet, so I don't really have truly any complaints, but stick around to the end, get to see what I find the coolest about this car. So this van has probably seen more crumbs in its first 90 days with under my ownership than most cars see in a lifetime. It's actually quite spacious inside. Here I am sitting in the back seat. Right there we have our son's car seat. It fits in there well. So there's the car seat. It's a big one, of course. He's still rear facing, but it fits in there quite well, and we do have quite a amount of leg room still in the front seat there for anybody sitting in the front seat, of course. Now this is a 2017 Honda Odyssey EXL, so it's not a base model. LX is your base model, it's the essentials only. It's still a fantastic model if you ask me. This one does have some additional options and features, and we do take full advantage of them, so it is nice to have. More specifically, the rear climate control, or tri-climate control I believe they call it. It is nice to be able to adjust having some air conditioning on me and keeping it a bit warmer for the baby in the back. So being an EXL, we were fortunate enough to get a sunroof, which you can see is up there. We do take full advantage of that, especially on nice beautiful days like it is today. And it's nice to let some extra light into the car because sometimes it can feel a bit dark, and when you're on those long drives, it's very nice to have the extra sunlight. One super nice and notable feature is, of course, the power tailgate. And we have a ton of space. Right now we currently have the seats folded down with a stroller in there. You can see there's tons of room. We can fit a ton more stuff. Typically we bring toys or carts or whatever our son's gonna be in is coming with us whenever we're going over to Grandma and Grandpa's house. It all goes into the van. My favorite feature about this van is the fact that the seats fold down so nicely. So right here it doubles as actually a parts getter. Just don't tell my wife about that. But it can fit a lot of large car parts for all my projects in here. Although I don't do that at all. I'm just saying, hypothetically, you could do it. All right, let me show you how easy these seats fold up. Right here, you got handles. You just pull on the handles, tip it down, and now it's latched. That's it. And then there's a handle right here on the back. You just pull that handle, and you're able to pull the seat forward. Now it's locked in place. That's all it takes. Now it's completely back into place, and you just do the same thing for this seat right here. So you grab the handle, pull it up, locked in place, release the handle, and now your seat back is locked in place and you're ready to go. These seats are fully adjustable. You can adjust how far back the recline is, which is nice actually. When you're setting up a car seat this far into the back, it's super nice to be able to adjust the recline because you're able to adjust the position of the seat. Something you don't really think about until you have to go and mount it in there and you realize how hard it is to fit and reach in there and mount the car seat and have space to get the child in and out. So it's kind of a hidden benefit. So that being said, you still have a ton of room right here in the trunk floor. You can fit tons of stuff. The stroller still fits, diaper bags, toys, everything. We're fitting groceries on top of it. Everything you need fits. Okay, so there you have it. Stroller is now placed in there and we still have a whole half of the trunk we can fit. There's actually tons more room right here. You can place diaper bag, toys, whatever you need. Groceries are all going right there. Or if you're fortunate, all of your bags for a weekend trip, maybe a little getaway, everything's gonna fit right in there. No problem at all. And we haven't even got into the cabin yet, so there's tons of space still for the children. Don't forget them behind. Now, I did say that I love the power tailgate. It is super nice, but unfortunately that is an option that is included in the EXL, as well as leather seats. I can show you a bit of what that looks like. So in here we have the leather interior, super nice leather seats. It did come actually with an additional seat that clips into the floor It's kind of a jump seat that goes in between these two seats, so you can have a bench here, and also you have the third row full bench. So we removed that middle seat right out. You can see that it does latch into the floor just like any of the other seats, utilizing the same mounting system. It can be folded down right here and used as like an armrest or a cup holder, but personally I prefer the captain's chairs, so that's why I took it out. It makes it much easier to use the space in here. Now we have a little walkway. You can come in, you can get through here quickly to the back, and that's what your back seat looks like. So it also makes it a lot easier just to be able to utilize the space without having the extra seat in there, having to climb over it. Sometimes we take trips with the cousins and we're able to fit all of them in the back, and they have a quick, easy access path to get to the back seat, the third row. So for the car nerds, or I guess I could say the gearheads, so we sound a bit tougher, but I am driving a minivan now, so at this point I think I've kind of gotten over the fact that it's not tough anymore, so I'll just consider myself a car nerd. This does have the 3.5 liter V6, and I believe it boasts a massive 248 horsepower. I'm not sure on that. I'll put that on screen here below once I confirm it. Yes, it does have a 6-speed automatic transmission. Unfortunately, they are pretty well known for transmission problems, specifically in this model. Now, the only good thing going on is that Honda did extend the warranty on that transmission. I believe it's now like 10 years, 150,000 mile warranty on that transmission. Honda keeps sending me messages or letters in the mail about them extending the warranty, and if you paid for any transmission repairs, to send the bills to them and they will reimburse you through their program. So I'll include a copy of what that looks like here. After owning it now for 90 days, we've had no transmission problems. Now, granted, ours is a relatively low mileage model. We only have like 50,000 miles. For me, that's low mileage compared to some of the things I've owned in the past. But we were fortunate enough. We found this in the private sale, used like Facebook Marketplace as where we bought it, and it was very well taken care of, so we're very fortunate for that. So on the private marketplace, you can expect to buy one of these anywhere $14,000 to $17,000, and that's with around 50,000 miles. It's not too bad of a price, although it is a bit on the premium end if you're just looking for any used minivan. There are some actually phenomenal deals on other makes and models out there. So one also really cool feature that we have on this trim line, blind spot warning and camera. So this is the blind spot camera. It actually turns on and you see it on the screen inside of the car if there's anything in this area, which is super nice when you're making turns around corners and you can't really see if there's any kids there playing, waiting on the sidewalk, anything like that. So that is one nice feature. I believe it does have some collision avoidance in the front. It will let you know, it will beep at you and let you know if you're getting too close. I tend to find myself shutting it off. I find it to be a bit annoying, but it is there if you like to use it. So power sliding doors, of course, are an amazing feature. There's tons of space in here. As you can see, I am able to completely fit right in here and still have room to take the child in and out. There's plenty of room to grab, take him out, pull him out without banging his head on the roof. I would not recommend doing that. He or she may not be that happy if that happens, but I promise you there is a lot of space right here to pull your child in and out. Although I could also recommend that you may want to entertain the idea of a swivel base car seat. I think those are a bit on the premium side, but I think they do have a place and use case, which would be right here. You can turn the child and easily get them out, in and out, instead of having to reach over the side of the car seat, although it's not the end of the world. So for those of you who are interested, I forgot to share a view of what my son gets to see every time he's in the car, so I'll go ahead and give you a real first-person view of that perspective. So we will be loading him into the car seat here, and that's what he gets to stare at. Not sure if that goes into your consideration when picking out a vehicle, what your children are going to be staring at while they're in a seat, especially in the rear-facing stage, but that's what he gets to see. We do sometimes, don't tell anybody, we do put a phone up there. He gets to watch cartoons sometimes. I know, we're bad parents. Shame on me. Really quickly, here we have a look at the passenger side. So here you go. I'm 6'1". We have the seat all the way back touching the car seat, and I still have space, of course, to fit in here, so it's not as tight as you would think with a giant car seat right behind it. Now, inside of the car is equipped with 2 screens. I'm not really sure why that is at all. It actually, I find it quite confusing. I can't remember which screen has which option. I find myself constantly being confused, although I guess that's not only with this car, but that's a story for another day. So back to the car. So the car is great. Of course, we have ample space for cup holders, 2 right there, can always fit the coffee, and we got backups for the coffee as well. And then it even thought it slides out somewhere back there, but I guess it doesn't. Inside of here, of course, ample storage space. And then of course here, we have more cup holders. more storage space. And then, believe it or not, this is actually a cool box. You can turn it on, it's air conditioned. So super nice if you're bringing milk, anything you need with you on the way. Food, drinks, anything you want to keep cold stays in there cold for the road trip. Here we have our charging area. Of course, we have a USB-A and just a 12-volt socket. And then down below there is an aux port. Although the car does have Bluetooth capabilities, so probably not too many people are going to be using that anymore. Unfortunately, this generation does not have Apple CarPlay, or at least in this model, maybe in a higher trim level, you can get Apple CarPlay. That is a super nice feature, but you would have to get the next generation, which comes after 2017. So I believe starting in 2018, they offer Apple CarPlay on the minivans. Wow, look at that. All right, let's get in and take a quick drive around. Well, actually, let's see what it's like here from the driver's seat. So here I am sitting in the driver's seat. I have plenty of headroom. I'm 6 foot tall. 6'1". I fit just fine. I did mention we have a sunroof. There you go. Let's let the light in. Look at that. It's beautiful. And there we go. Car seat right there. You can see all the way through to the back. No problem at all. So sitting here, we have, of course, rear view mirror up here. You have sunroof controls, garage door opener if you wanted to program it. And this is a dual function sunglasses storage and also another mirror, which you can get a better view of the kids in the back seat. Well, this mirror is looking out the rear view mirror. I think that is quite common in most minivans. I don't think that's any new technology, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, sitting here in the driver's seat, we do luckily have heated seats, which is nice, especially here in Illinois in the winter. It can be a bit cold. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So over here we have the door controls, automatic open and close of the doors. We also have traction control off. Don't really use that very often in a minivan, I'm not gonna lie. And there's the door or the rear hatch button. Okay, we got steering wheel controls, pretty basic. I think those are in most cars nowadays. So up above we have, I guess, more phone information and some radio information up there at the top. And we have more radio information here. If you control anything utilizing these controls up here, it will control the top screen. And then this is a touch screen. This screen is not touch screen. The lower screen is touch screen. It does in fact work. There's our radio. So in the top menu, if you click settings, here's where you'll be able to access most of the vehicle settings. Of course, we have camera settings, that's for the rear view camera and your side view camera, vehicle settings, system settings, audio settings. Inside of system settings, you'll find like brightness and stuff for your screen and how long do you want things to last. If you shut the car off, things like that. Do you want this? You have display options, brightness, color, contrast, Bluetooth information, adjusting your clock. All of that important information can be found in there. Audio settings, you obviously have to be connected to it to adjust that. Vehicle settings, here's where you'll find some maintenance reset, your trip reset, some of your options like do you want lights to dim, when do you want doors to lock or unlock, the light sensitivity for when your lights turn on. All of those options and settings can be found in here. And like I said, maintenance reset, that's important if you're doing oil changes and things like that. So here you can do more settings for your keyless access. Of course, here's lighting. They actually organize it if you move sideways in these menus. Really quickly, I can show you, when I turn the turn signal on, you can see we get the side view camera right there. That's that blind spot camera that I was talking about under the mirror. And it gives you a bit of a preview of what's going on over there. So only downside is we did get the tires adjusted, or we put new tires on this when we bought it, and the TPMS light is on. Now, I haven't taken the time to figure out why that is. I haven't had any issues, and tire pressures are good, so I'm not going to complain. I had mentioned it has the dual or tri-climate, which you can, the control panel is right there. Let's get a better look at it. Kind of hard to see with the car seat in the way, but there's the control panel. We can control, just gotta find the button. We can turn it on and off. It can be controlled from the rear and of course controlled from the front. I think in many passenger vehicles that has always been kind of there. Super nice feature actually, that's a very oddball, is this entire center console is removable. It actually slides out and you can clean in there super well. As I had mentioned before, this car has seen a lot of crumbs already, and I'm sure it's in for a lot more in its lifetime. So there is a lot of space in the rear seat of the van, which can be seen here. Of course, I fit in here, no problem at all. So in the back, there's plenty of room. It's actually quite nice. It's even nicer riding in the back, I think, than it is riding in the front. I can take a seat here. Let's go back to the third row. So here I am. I'm sitting back here in the third row. We have plenty of space and also climate control. This is probably the tri-zone. So here you go. Third row, I got air conditioning blowing on me. Feels quite nice. If you're thinking about whether the Honda is the right choice or Toyota is the right choice or Chrysler, you just got to figure out some of the small details. Overall, you can't go wrong with the Honda. You just have to pick out what means the most to you. The Honda's loaded with features, loaded with space. It's utilized, it's well thought out. It's made for families and children. I would 100% recommend it. And I think we made the right choice. Although I thought it was in my instinct that I could never drive a minivan, but I promise people don't really look at you that weird on the road. And if they do, it's probably for another reason, not because you're in a minivan. So for anybody wondering how to put the seats down in the rear, it's quite simple. Let me show you. Not that I've ever known how to do this because I never have to fold them down to bring car parts home. Definitely never have done that. So basically you have our instructions right here. They're gonna show you how to stow your magic seat. I've yet to find out how it's magic, but when I do, I'll be sure to update you and let you know. Anyways, this is how you fold the seat. I'm not sure how to make it do magic, but you just pull this and it folds down, and that's it. It collapsed. Done. That one's already done. Let's do number 2 here. Let's fold the magic. Maybe this is the magic seat, and that's why I've messed up. That one doesn't. This one does not call it a magic seat. This one says it's the magic seat. So let's see. I had to pull a second lever here to get it to continue to fold, but it is now folded and gone into place, and it's perfectly flat. You can fit whatever you need in the back. Furniture, hardware store trips. This duels as a work truck, basically, is what I'm telling you. Be sure to put a blanket down, keep the interior nice. Your children are playing in there. So people are always asking, how do you deal with the insane power of a minivan? I'm just kidding, nobody's ever asked me that. Actually, nobody even asked me about my minivan ever. Okay, let's go for a drive. All right, let's get in and go for a quick drive. So overall, the van, it drives pretty nice. Don't really have any real complaints about it. This one is, of course, front wheel drive. All wheel drive probably would be a bit nicer in the winters, but we do just have front wheel drive, so that's what we use. But overall, I guess road noise is pretty quiet. That's important when you got a sleeping baby in the back or child. Also nice for road trips when you can't hear anything. So seats are quite comfortable. Farthest road trip we've really taken in this with the family is probably, well, it would have been a 4-hour drive, turned into a 6-hour drive. Of course, we made a bunch of stops in between, but it was really a comfortable trip, and I was quite surprised. Got a speed bump. Ride's pretty smooth. I think you really can't go wrong if you do decide to buy one of these. It does, of course, have a rear view camera. That is always a nice feature. I believe they are legally required to have a rear view camera if you're buying anything. I can't remember the year, maybe 2018 or newer, but this is a 17, so rear view camera was an option. And it is nice to have, of course, when you're trying to back up, especially something this big. And you know what it's like trying to back out of a parking lot when you're parked next to a pickup truck or something. You can't see anything anymore in parking lots. They're so tight. Vehicles are getting so big. It's also super nice to have the sliding doors when you're trying to get the kids in and out. It takes up no space. You don't have to worry about bashing your door into anybody else's car and being known as that guy. That's never a good feeling. So I would say, whether you're a gearhead, car nerd, dad, mom, it's worth it. Get a minivan, you'll enjoy it. Kids will be able to enjoy it. I know this has got years and years of life ahead of it. It's gonna be taking my son and future children all around. Gotta take them to hockey practice, whatever it is. I'm sure it won't be hockey right away, but a man can dream, right? He's gonna be playing hockey at some point. One thing that I've read online is these things have a built-in vacuum. I really haven't been able to find it. I'm not quite sure where it is. I thought maybe center console, it's not. I thought in the back, I've looked around, it's not. I don't know, maybe that's an option, but everything I've read says they have built-in vacuum. Maybe it's hidden somewhere, I just haven't come across it. I did find the spare tire. I can show you where the spare tire is in this vehicle. It is kind of a bummer because you will have to open the rear seat, move your front seats forward, move the rear seats back, and it can be found under the floor mat. There's a board. You lift this board up. Under this wooden board, there is in fact a tire down there. So really quickly, we do have the gas door release is right there. Hood release is actually right there, hidden around the corner. You just pull that, park brake of course. Can give you a quick look under the hood so you can see what it's like. There's a release. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. So there's the underhood, of course. Like I said, it's 3.5 liter, and of course it's front wheel drive, so our motor is in there sideways. Washer fluid tank right there for maintenance. I did an oil change on this actually in another video, so if you check out other videos on my channel, you'll get to see me do an oil change on this, do some maintenance. Oil filter location is actually a little bit tricky on this vehicle. Found out the hard way. So underneath the car, you won't necessarily see it that easily. Headlights, of course, this car did just have factory halogen lights. We went ahead and put LED bulbs in it. Well worth it, 10 times brighter. It even has projector lens. I know they don't recommend LED bulbs for projector lens. I can't tell the difference. It lights up the road great. Vehicle does not have fog lights. That is only one downside. I would say that's probably the only downside about this vehicle that I've experienced so far is no fog lights. Where I live, it's very helpful to have the extra light on the road, but the brights are bright enough and we really don't have any complaints. So my conclusion after 90 days, absolutely it was worth it. I wouldn't change anything about it. We made the right choice. Deep down inside, I regret to say it, but I'm happy that we are a minivan owner at this point in my life. It is just too easy. It makes everything too simple. There's ample amount of space. Car seats fit, easy to get kids in and out. There's a reason why you see so many of these on the road. So thank you for joining me today. Like and subscribe. Let me know features that you have in your van or any issues you ran into this van. What kind of maintenance are you doing on your van? What should I be worried about taking care of on this one? Obviously, I want to protect it for the longevity of it. We're going to need it for a long time, put a lot of miles on it, and probably have a few trips planned in it as well. I'm looking forward to some road trips and sharing those with you. You'll be able to see this thing on the road and where we go. Good looking van. Nice color actually, red scarlet. Actually a big fan of that color. You don't see it quite that often on the road. It looks nice, especially with the beige interior. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week.
With you, I know we'll